Listen carefully, because I'm about to tell you something that most men go their entire lives never realizing. Women, no matter how much time passes, never forget a man who does three specific things. It doesn't matter if years have gone by. It doesn't matter if she's moved on, dated other men, even married. Deep in her psychology, your imprint remains. But here's the danger. Most men do the opposite. They chase, they beg, they try to prove their worth, and in doing so, they erase themselves from her memory. I'm going to show you the three things that etch you permanently into her mind. And once you know them, you'll understand why some men are unforgettable, while others vanish like they never existed. Here's the first thing women never forget. A man who made her feel something she couldn't fake. Listen closely, because this is where most men get it wrong. They think women remember the gifts, the dinners, the physical attraction. But that's surface level. What she really remembers is the man who stirred her emotions so deeply, she couldn't control her reactions. Think about it, the guy who made her laugh until her stomach hurt. The guy who challenged her, who didn't agree with everything, who made her feel alive in ways no other man did. The guy who brought out her wild side, her soft side, her vulnerable side. Why? Because psychology tells us, emotion is the glue of memory. Facts fade, looks fade, but the way you make someone feel burns into their brain. This is why she might forget your name, your face, even where you lived. But if you ever made her feel alive, her body remembers it. Here's the red flag most men miss. If you were just nice, if you played it safe, never stirred emotion, never created that roller coaster, she forgets you. You become background noise. But if you triggered her emotions, positive or negative, you're unforgettable. And here's the warning. That same emotional intensity can work against you. If all you gave her was chaos, anger, and pain, she'll never forget that either. But she'll remember you as the ghost of destruction. So ask yourself, when she thinks of me, does her chest tighten with regret? Or does her smile appear out of nowhere? That answer determines if you are truly unforgettable. But listen carefully. That's only the first step, because emotions alone are not enough. The second thing women never forget goes even deeper, and it's far more dangerous. Now hear me closely, because this is where almost every man fails. Women never forget the man who gave her freedom, yet never begged for her attention. Sounds strange, doesn't it? Because society has conditioned you to think, if I love her, I need to show her. If I want her, I need to prove it. If she's slipping away, I need to fight for her. But here's the forbidden truth. The moment you chase her, the moment you beg, the moment you make her the center of your universe, you erase your presence in her psychology. Why? Because women are biologically wired to respect the man who has options, who has a backbone, who can walk away. Think about it. She might forget the man who worshipped her. She might forget the man who was always available. But she will never forget the man who showed her love without obsession, who could give her attention without becoming a slave to it. Have you ever noticed how women can't stop thinking about the man who pulled back just enough to make her wonder? The man who didn't text every hour. The man who wasn't jealous when she was busy. The man who let her breathe, yet his presence haunted her when he wasn't around. Psychology calls this intermittent reinforcement. It's the same mechanism that makes people addicted to gambling. You never know when the reward is coming, so you keep coming back. A man who chases loses value, but a man who gives her freedom, while standing firm in his self-worth, that man becomes unforgettable. Here's the red flag. If you overinvest, if you constantly try to prove yourself, she feels it. And once she feels you've lost yourself for her, respect is gone. And remember this, attraction without respect is worthless. But let me give you the cliffhanger, because the third and final thing, the one women never recover from, goes beyond feelings, beyond freedom. It cuts straight into her deepest psychology. This is the most powerful, the most dangerous, and the most permanent. A woman never forgets the man who changed her life's direction. Listen carefully. If you ever inspired her to grow, to step out of her comfort zone, to see herself differently, you become permanently tattooed into her identity. Why? Because humans don't just remember people. We remember transformations. Think about the teacher who inspired you, the coach who pushed you, the mentor who challenged you. You may forget 99% of people you meet, but you never forget the ones who shifted your path. For a woman, this is even more powerful. You introduced her to a new passion: fitness, art, travel. Years later, every time she laces her running shoes, every time she picks up that paintbrush, your shadow is there. You taught her how to see her own worth, The moment she realized she could demand more from life, it was because of you. You challenged her to break her patterns. Maybe she used to settle. Maybe she used to avoid risks. But with you, she stepped into a stronger version of herself. And here's the psychological reason. The human brain ties emotional breakthroughs to the person who triggered them. So when a woman becomes more confident, more alive, more adventurous, she associates that transformation with you. This is why even if she moves on, even if she dates another man, even if she marries, she will always carry a shadow of you inside her. But here's the harsh truth. If you gave her chaos, if you destroyed her confidence, if you made her smaller instead of bigger, she'll never forget that either. You'll live in her memory as a ghost of pain. And this, my friend, is where most men fail. They think love is about giving more, proving more, sacrificing more. But women don't remember the man who gave the most. They remember the man who changed the way they saw themselves. Now let's go deeper. Why do women never forget these three things? Because the female brain is wired differently than the male brain. Men attach through visual memory and physical experiences. Women attach through emotional and psychological imprints. For a man, memory is about what happened. For a woman, memory is about how it made me feel. That's why you could spend years together, doing the same things, going through the same motions, and still be forgotten. But one unforgettable night of emotional intensity, one act of freedom and respect, one life-changing push, and you live inside her forever. And here's the forbidden part society doesn't want you to know. Women rarely admit this. They'll tell you it was about compatibility or timing or he was a good guy. But deep down, what they never forget is the man who left an emotional, psychological, and transformational scar. And here's the climax of this truth. Are you ready? She's not changing for herself. She's not remembering you because of who you are. She's remembering you because of who she became when she was with you. Read that again. It's not about you, it's about the version of herself she unlocked with you. That's why chasing never works. That's why begging never works. That's why trying to outgive or outlove never works. Because the men women never forget are the ones who created an imprint so deep that every future man is measured against it. Here's the painful truth. If she has moved on and she is happy, it's not because she forgot you. It's because the next man either built on the imprint you left or failed to live up to it. And that's why you can't compete. You can only become the man who imprints so deeply. She never forgets you in the first place. So what does this mean for you? It means stop chasing, stop begging, stop trying to be the nice guy who gives everything and leaves no mark. Instead, become the man who touches her emotions in ways she can't control. Become the man who gives her freedom while standing firm in his self-respect. Become the man who transforms her life so deeply, she'll never see the world the same again. But here's the stoic truth you need to remember. Even if you were that man, even if she never forgets you, it doesn't mean she'll stay with you. Life moves on. People change. But what matters most is not whether she remembers you. What matters is this. Did you remain true to yourself? Did you walk away with dignity when the respect was gone? Did you refuse to beg, refuse to shrink, refuse to lose yourself just to keep someone else? Because that brother is the kind of man who is not only unforgettable to women, but unstoppable in life.